This is Jessica Fox filming for Vett222 Task 19, which is a cross match. I do have my OCCI certificate here at the Lafayette Veterinary Clinic, and we'll go ahead and get started. So the first thing I need to do is draw from a donor and a recipient. So this is my donor, Kobe here. So I have the alcohol, an EDTA tube labeled with Kobe Redder, and it says donor on here. And then my 3cc syringe. So we will go ahead and draw his blood.
Good boy.
Good boy. Yeah. All right. So just prep the site with a little bit of alcohol. And you're going to insert the needle bevel up. Just gently draw back. Okay, so I'm going to have my assistant let up and then hold off where I had poked. And then I'm going to insert the needle into the collection tube here and just let it fill by itself. I'm not going to push the plunger down or anything. Let it fill to that black line there. All right, perfect. So then I'm going to gently invert 4 to 6 times, and then I'll go get my recipient. Hi, this is Jessica Fox, filming for Vett222, just carrying on with task 19, the cross match. I have my recipient here, patient Jamie. So I have the EDTA tube labeled with her name and recipient, the alcohol, and then the 3cc syringe. So we'll go ahead and get started drawing her blood. Just going to prep the site with a little bit of alcohol. You okay, Jay?
It's okay, Jamie. Hey, good girl.
She's a good girl. Okay. So then you're going to insert the needle bevel up. Okay, perfect. So I'll have my assistant hold off where I had poked. Beautiful. And I'm going to insert this into the top here and just let it draw in. I'll just allow it to draw as much as it can. Okay, and then gently invert 3 to 5 times. And then we'll be back to perform the cross match. Hi, this is Jessica Fox. I'm continuing for Vett222 Task 19, which is the cross match. I will point out the OCCI certificate here at the Lafayette Veterinary Clinic, and we'll go ahead and get started. So now that we do have both samples from Kobe, the donor, and then Jamie, the recipient, we can get started with this cross match. I will point out I do have pipettes and then plain white top tubes with no additive. I have centrifuge tubes here, as well as a syringe and then a little cup of saline, which we'll need for the task. So there's the same amount of blood in both of these tubes here, so they can counterbalance each other in the centrifuge. So we'll go ahead and place these opposite of each other in the centrifuge here. And this is going to run 1,000 times 9 RPMs for 5 minutes, and that's just to separate the plasma and the red blood cells. So we'll go ahead and start this and start the timer, and when that's all set, we'll be back. Okay, so now that the centrifuge is done spinning, we can go ahead and take a look at our samples here. So this is Kobe's sample. It looks a little hemolyzed, but that's all right. We'll go ahead and get a clean pipette, and what we're going to do is pull off the plasma here and just put it in a clean, no additive white top tube. So So when I'm pulling off the plasma, I want to be careful not to disturb the red blood cells down there. Okay. Perfect. So we'll set those aside. And then grab Jamie's sample. And hers is a little lipemic and slightly hemolyzed, but go ahead and transfer her plasma with a clean, new, fresh pipette. Again, without disturbing those red blood cells down there. Okay. So, we'll set the plasma to the side. And then the next step is I'm going to take 3 drops of each the red blood cells down here and put them, let's see, we'll start with Jamie, in this centrifuge tube. It's labeled with her name and then red blood cell suspension. So we'll get a fresh pipette and just grab 3 drops. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that was Jamie. So go ahead and do Kobe's with another fresh pipette. So 1, 2, 3. All right, so what we're doing here is getting ready for the cell washing process. This does need to be performed 3 times. So now that I have 3 drops of blood, what I'm going to do is place 60 drops of saline in here. It is for every 1 drop of blood, you need 20 drops of saline. So since I did 3 drops, I will do 60 drops of saline. So I just had, this is from a fluid bag so that I just poured into this Dixie cup here. So I'll pull up some saline, and then we'll count to 60 drops in this tube here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Okay, so there's that. That was Kobe's. So we'll go ahead and do 60 drops in Jamie's. This is creating that red blood cell suspension here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Okay. So now I'm going to take their red blood cell suspensions and put them opposite of each other in the centrifuge here so they're nice and counterbalanced. So we're going to go ahead and spin these down for 5 minutes. And when that's done, we'll be back to do that again. Okay, so now that the centrifuge is done spinning, we can go ahead and grab our samples. And the next step is going to be to decant the supernatant. And instead of pouring it off, I am going to draw it off with a clean pipette just because I really want to be careful not to disturb the red blood cells down here at the bottom. So I'm going to head on over to the sink and just discard the supernatant here. Okay, so that was Jamie's. We'll go ahead and do the same thing with Kobe's sample. like I said, you can pour it off. I'm just nervous to disturb these red blood cells down here. Okay, so that looks great. So now what we're going to do is wash them for the second time. So again, with the 60 drops of saline. So, oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 60. Okay, so that's Kobe's. We'll go ahead and do 60 drops of saline in Jamie's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 60. Okay, perfect. So we'll go ahead and place these in the centrifuge. We'll go ahead and start that again. And when that's done, we'll do the third washing. All right, so now that the centrifuge is done, these cells have been washed 2 times now, so we'll go ahead and do the third washing. So just like before, I'm going to take a clean pipette and decant the supernatant here over on the sink. So this is Jamie's sample. Perfect. All right, so we'll go ahead and with a clean pipette, we'll grab Kobe's sample and do the same thing. Being awfully careful just to grab the saline and not the red blood cells. All right, so we'll start the third washing. So again, it's going to be 60 more drops. We'll start with Kobe. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Okay. So we'll place that in the centrifuge and grab Jamie's sample and do the same thing. 60 more drops of saline. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops, we just need 2 more. Okay, that's 60. So we'll place this opposite of Kobe's sample in the centrifuge. go ahead and start that for the last wash. We'll be back. So now that the red blood cells have been washed for the 3rd time, we'll go ahead and again decant the supernatant. So I'll grab a clean pipette, and this is Kobe's sample. We'll take it on over to the sink. Just grab the top part again. Okay, so we'll go ahead and grab Jamie's sample and a new pipette. Okay. So the next step is going to be to make a 3 to 5% red blood cell suspension. So I do have the 2 white tops here, and they're labeled. This is Kobe, donor, and a 3 to 5% red blood cell suspension, and the same with Jamie, who is the recipient, a 3 to 5 red blood cell suspension. So we'll go ahead and make those. So we'll start with Kobe, and what I'm going to do is do 1 drop of the red blood cell, the washed red blood cells. So I'll grab a clean pipette and just make sure they're the same tubes here. So Kobe matches Kobe. We'll grab 1 drop. Okay, perfect. So 1 drop of that, and then 20 drops of saline. So we'll put that back. And then 20 drops of saline for the red blood cell suspension. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so there's Kobe's red blood cell suspension, 3 to 5%. And we'll go ahead and do Jamie's. So Jamie, get a clean pipette. 1 drop of the washed red blood cells. Okay, and then 20 drops of saline. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Alright, so there's Jamie's 3 to 5% red blood cell suspension. And the next step is going to be to start the cross match. So what I'll show you here is I have 3 more tubes. And this is the major cross match. It's going to have the recipient plasma and donor cells. And then the minor is going to have the donor plasma and recipient cells. And then the recipient control, which is going to have the recipient plasma and recipient cells. So we'll go ahead and start with the major. And how you're going to do this is 2 parts of plasma and 1 part red blood cell suspension. So we'll start with the major, which is going to be the recipient's plasma. So Jamie is the recipient. Here's her plasma. And like I said, it is kind of hemolyzed and lipemic. We'll grab a new pipette and do 2 drops of this plasma in the major tube. So 1, 2, perfect. And then, so 2 drops of plasma and 1 drop of the red blood cell suspension, which is going to be Kobe's. So the donor's cells, that's this, Kobe. So we'll grab 1 drop of this. Perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and gently mix this up and let it incubate at room temperature for 15 minutes. So we'll set this one, get that going, and we'll start the minor cross match, which is the donor's plasma and recipient cells. So the donor plasma, this is Kobe's plasma, the donor, for the minor cross match. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 drops of this plasma. 1, 2. And then 1 drop of the recipient's red blood cell suspension, which this is Jamie's here. So 1 drop of that. Okay. And again, we will gently mix this up and then let it incubate at room temperature for 15 minutes. And then last, we will do the recipient control, which is going to be both recipient's plasma and red blood cell suspension. So Jamie is the recipient. We're going to grab 2 drops of her plasma. Oops, gotta open this. So 1, 2. Okay. And then 1 drop of Jamie's red blood cell suspension. Just 1 drop. Good. Okay. So we will again gently mix and then allow this to sit at room temperature for 15 minutes. I'll go ahead and start a 15-minute timer. And when that's up, we'll be back. Okay, so now that these samples have been incubating at room temperature for 15 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and grab them here. So this is the recipient control, the major, the minor, and then I just have a counterbalance here. This is just water. So I'm going to place them all in the centrifuge here. Okay, and this is going to be run at 1,000 times 9 RPMs for 15 seconds. So I just have a timer here. We'll go ahead and start that. We'll just wait the 15 seconds. Okay, so that's the 15 seconds. I'll show you that. And so I stopped the centrifuge. The next step, I'm going to examine the supernatant for any hemolysis. So we'll kind of slow that down. Okay. So this is the minor. And looking at it, I do see slight hemolysis. So I am going to just write these down for now and then record them in the patient's medical record after this is done. So I'm going to say slight hemolysis. Okay. I'll take a look at the recipient control. I also see slight hemolysis. This is just my counterbalance. And then the major, I also see slight hemolysis. So hemolysis present on all 3. Okay, now I'm going to resuspend the cells. So we'll start with the major. Where is it? There it is. So kind of just resuspend these cells, and I'm going to look for macroscopic as well as microscopic agglutination. So I don't really see any macroscopic agglutination, but we'll go ahead, get a clean pipette, and place 1 drop on the I have 3 slides here. They're all labeled, so this is the major slide to match the major sample here. So I will go ahead and take 1 drop. place it on the slide. Okay, so this is the major. So the minor, I'm going to resuspend the cells and then see if I see any macroscopic agglutination. And I'm not really seeing any macroscopic agglutination. Go ahead and get a clean pipette, get 1 drop of the minor and place it on the minor microscope slide here. And do the same for the control. All right, so this is the recipient control. We'll go ahead and resuspend the cells. And then looking for microscopic agglutination. I think I do slightly see, I don't know if you can see, but I'll try to show you the macroscopic agglutination there. So we'll go ahead and take 1 drop of this with a clean pipette and place it on the control slide. Okay, so I'm going to take all 3 of these over to the microscope and examine them microscopically. So we'll start with the major. I'll bring this over here, and I'm going to be looking for, like I said, the microscopic agglutination, which is essentially the clumping of cells. Just adjust these things and bring it into focus. I am going to put a cover slip on this and look at it under 40x as well. So I'm just going to grab a cover slip. There we go. Go ahead and look at it under 40x. Get this in focus. There we go. So I am seeing clumps of cells here, which so this is positive for agglutination. And this was the major. So let me go grab the minor. Set that there. Grab the minor, and I will place a cover slip on there. Oops. Okay. All right, get this into focus. Bring it up to 40x. So this is the minor cross match, and I am also seeing agglutination on this slide. So I do also want to look at my control. So let me go grab this one. So I have my control here. Grab a cover slip. Okay, there we go. Bring this into focus. Okay, so on my control, I am seeing So it appears to be a little bit of Rouleau, but I don't see agglutination here. So, when you do see agglutination on these major and minor cross-match, that means they are not compatible. So I'm going to head over to the patient's medical record and record these results in their record here. So I have Kobe's open, and it states that this is the cross-match. I'm going to write slight hemolysis seen and agglutination seen, indicating Kobe and Jamie Redder, that's just the client's last name, are not acceptable blood matches. We'll need to continue the process to find a donor for Jamie. Alright, put my initials, and I'll let the doctor know that these two patients are not compatible. And this completes the cross match.